The Snake That Loved a Child, a tale of unseen protection. In the quiet village of Ntoroko, nestled between the thick forests and winding rivers of eastern Africa, there lived a little girl named Amara. She was no more than 6, with bright eyes that sparkled like morning dew and a heart full of kindness. Amara was the only child of an old widowed woman called Mama Chinwe, who sold palm oil in the village market. They had little, but their hearts were rich in love and peace. Behind their small mud house stood a giant Iroko tree. No one dared to go near it. The elders said it was cursed, home to a sacred serpent that watched silently from its shadows. Some swore they heard hissing at night. Others claimed to have seen glowing eyes. But Mama Chinwe never feared the tree. In fact, every morning she would sweep its base and leave a bowl of water there, whispering, "Even the unseen deserve respect." Unbeknownst to many, the serpent in the tree was real. Its name was Obu, an ancient python spirit bound to the land. But Obu was not a creature of harm, he was a guardian. Centuries ago, a deal had been struck with the ancestors. As long as Obu was honored, he would watch over the children of the land. Over time, people forgot the truth. Fear replaced reverence, and the guardian was seen only as a curse. One day, tragedy struck. Amara fell ill after playing by the river. Fever gripped her tiny body, and her breathing became shallow. Mama Chinwe ran from hut to hut, pleading for help. But the herbalist was away, and the village nurse had no medicine. That night, as Amara lay burning with fever, the moon lit the sky, casting a pale glow on the roof of their home. Suddenly, a soft rustle came from the Iroko tree. Obu, the great serpent, slithered down silently. His eyes glowed faintly, not with menace, but with knowing. He moved through the back door, past the sleeping chickens, and into the small room where Amara lay. Mama Chinwe, in her grief, had fainted beside her daughter. The serpent coiled gently beside Amara's mat, his body warm and pulsating with ancient energy. He rested his head near hers and hissed low, a deep, rhythmic hum that seemed to breathe with the earth itself. As the hours passed, the fever in Amara's body began to break. By dawn, Amara stirred. Her eyes opened slowly, her fever gone. Mama Chinwe gasped in joy and gathered her daughter in her arms, tears streaming down her wrinkled face. She didn't know how it happened, but her child was alive. What she didn't see was Obu, retreating silently back to the tree, his promise once again fulfilled. But the story didn't end there. 2 days later, a young boy named Akin, curious and mischievous, crept toward the Iroko tree. He wanted to see the serpent everyone feared. Armed with a stick and loud bravado, he threw stones at the base of the tree. He shouted insults, mocking the ghost snake he'd heard so much about. Then suddenly the earth beneath him trembled lightly. Birds scattered. A loud hiss echoed through the air. Out of the shadows came Obu, not in anger, but in warning. His massive form uncoiled before the boy, who stood frozen in fear. But instead of striking, Obu looked the child in the eyes and turned away, disappearing back into the roots of the tree. The elders took this as a sign. They gathered under the Iroko that evening, burning incense and pouring libation. Mama Chinwe, her heart still filled with gratitude, spoke up. "The spirit that lives here is not a curse. It saved my daughter's life. We have feared what we did not understand, and in doing so, we disrespected our protector." From that day, the people of Ntoroko began to honor the sacred tree again. Children were taught to greet it with respect. Offerings returned, and the serpent Obu was no longer seen as a monster, but as a silent guardian, one who watched over them not with claws or venom, but with quiet love. And so the legend of the snake that loved a child lived on. Moral of the story: sometimes the very things we fear are the ones protecting us. In life, we often judge by appearances, forgetting that goodness doesn't always come in beautiful forms. This tale reminds us to look deeper, to show respect even to the unseen, and to remember that love, especially divine love, can take the most unexpected shape. Please, if you found this impressive, like and subscribe as we unfold another episode tomorrow.